I can't join it. I can only join it like temporarily. Like I can't even get logged into it. I have it set up for my streaming software, and I am still learning how to try to figure that out. So I do not have streaming software. So I'm hoping you guys will get the notifications that I am over here versus over on my normal Saturday morning. So we are going to see if you guys are going to be able to find me. Bear with me. I am grabbing something to put the camera on. So I do apologize. Let's see. You guys get to see our wonderful hotel room. We've got a picture of Devil's Tower on the wall. Yay! Hi, Judy. Glad you are here. Hi, Laura. Hi, Brenda. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning to you. So I'm so sorry, you guys. I hate that the camera's moving and it's not cooperating. Let me see. You're going to use what we have at hand. There we go. That's a little bit better. You guys won't be able to see what I'm working on, but I will show you what I am working on. Let me see if I can get this chat to stay up. There's my live chat. Maybe that'll stay up on the screen so I can see you guys as you come in. Hi, Giovanna. Glad you were here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I finally caught you for a while. Woohoo. So, pardon my hair. It's a mess. I have not done anything with it aside from brush it this morning. So, I did not bring my machine like I thought I was going to. It's just going to be too much stuff to pack in the car this trip. Next time, it is a long time, Giovanni, you're right. Next time I go live will be Sunday night. And so I will be same here, same place. So you guys will get to see the Devil's Tower picture on the wall again. I believe that's Devil's Tower. I haven't seen it in person yet, so, that's what we're going with. Love your necklace, that's a paisley. No, it's not. They're twisted up. So this necklace right here is my ring holder necklace. Yeah, I know, Giovanna. I know. This is so I lost a couple of rings last year on a trip. And so for my birthday, this is what my husband got me. Like I wanted it, I picked it out, but he got that for me. And then this other is just an XO with stones in it. That's all they are. They're nothing fancy, but they're comfortable. They're comfortable. Okay, the hotel air conditioning, that unit over on the wall, either it blows and it's comfortable or it doesn't blow and it gets stuffy. So my hair may be going up and coming back down multiple times. Joy T has joined the chat. Good morning, everyone, she says. Good morning, Joy T. Yeah, very useful. Yeah. I mean, I wear it all the time because if I go to put lotion on or whatever, I take my wedding and engagement bands off because they're the ones that I lost on my trip and they were not replaceable. So now if my rings come off and they're not going on to a jewelry stand at home, they're going onto this necklace. Now I will take the necklace off in a hotel room, but they go on the chain. If I just put them on like I just did, they'll come back off. So I do thread them through the actual chain for like nighttime or whatever. But I've slept with the necklace on, with the rings on my necklace. That way the rings aren't catching on the sheets or whatever. Because I'm always paranoid that I'm going to get my rings caught on the sheets and then the stones are going to be getting loose and pulled out and all of that. So what all do you guys have going on today? This is Father's Day weekend. It's a big weekend. I went and dropped my husband off at the ballpark this morning. He doesn't have games until this afternoon, but he wanted to just go hang out and go, check out what's going on and be there. And he's an umpire coordinator and a trainer and all of that. So watching other umpires, he does that to get better with training. Not here in Italy. Oh, Father's Day, not here in Italy. Gotcha. Well, what I brought with me, I brought two products with me. Brenda says, I think someone helped me lose my engagement ring hubby bought while stewing dishes at his mother's. Oh no. Oh no. Well, I had never, until I married my husband, that I'm married to now, until I married my current husband, my first, Chloe is here. Welcome in, Chloe. Glad you are here. So my first husband, I'm on marriage 3. My first husband gave me a stone set in a pendant to be on a necklace. Hi, Michelle. Glad you are here. If I miss anybody, I apologize. Glenda, good morning. So the first husband gave me basically a pendant as an engagement present. It wasn't an engagement ring. The stone is huge, but it's not. It's honestly, it felt like it was plastic. But that's neither here nor there. I won't ever do that again. Second husband, we were looking for a purple engagement ring, so something with a purple stone in it, and couldn't find anything that wasn't just like super, super dark and, not really what he wanted to see me in. And so I ended up with a pink sapphire engagement ring. And I'm not, I will put it this way, I'm not a materialistic person. I'm not. And so the cost of the ring didn't bother me. However, it was very, very inexpensive. And I never got an upgrade, never got, the wedding band to go with it was just a solid white gold ring. So like it matched, but it wasn't something he picked specifically for me, that he planned it all out or anything like that. It was what we could find. Then so my current husband, we got married. I did not have an engagement ring, and I did order my wedding band, and I'd ordered him a matching wedding band, and he has lost his wedding band at least once or twice. He doesn't, I don't know what it is about him, but he cannot keep a wedding band on his finger. Like either it bothers him, or it's too big, or it's too. He's always been like that. So I don't take. My dad couldn't wear his wedding band for many years because he was a diesel mechanic. Pam is joining the chat. Good morning, Pam. So my current husband, he was like, well, your wedding band isn't really fancy, and I want people to know that I love you. Like it's majorly important to him that there's something on my hand. Since I wear a wedding band, he wanted to make sure it was something on my hand that was flashy. And so we picked out the wedding band or the engagement ring, and I absolutely love it. But the wedding band and engagement ring were lost on my trip in summer last year. So for Christmas, he went and he talked to my mom. He got opinions. And so the set that I've got, you guys might actually be able to see it, is black diamonds. So it's a wedding band and an engagement ring set. But my original wedding band was black diamonds. So, he went with, capturing the black diamonds, but still fancy enough that he's happy with it. He thinks it's flashy enough. So Giovanna says, I never wore my wedding band as I had swelling hands. Yeah, I will say this. When my hands swell, that's another good reason for this necklace. And then in the winter, my hands will shrink a little bit too from the cold. So it's another good reason for the necklace. So as long as I am wearing if I have my wedding band or, you know, any other rings on, then I automatically have this necklace on from here on out. So like October is when I got the necklace. So there's no chance I'm going to lose my bands again. Like, so if I take them off to put lotion on or whatever, they go on my necklace. I might forget to pull them back off of my necklace for a little bit, but they go back on my necklace. So I'm in a hotel room and I didn't bring my machine. So what did I bring? I brought, and I actually have multiple bags. So this is not the all-inclusive bag. But do you guys remember that I was working on sewing the other day on the bigger half square triangles from the Star Systems quilt that I made, the cutoffs from that? So like these are the big ones. I mean, there's a seam in there, but you know, it is what it is. I haven't pressed anything, so that may be what I'm doing tomorrow night. Just depends. I do have another project with me, so I may be working on the other project on Sunday. But I am taking all the little bitty ones, all the little bitty half square triangles, and I am trimming them down. So I originally thought that these were going to end up being an inch and a quarter. They're not. They are an inch and an eighth. So I have a block planned out, and let me get this one trimmed since I just put this under my ruler. So I brought a cutting mat. My husband brought his travel ironing board. I would have brought my like ironing tray table, but he wanted an ironing board. He irons all of his umpire clothes. So we were going to be bringing that anyway, so there's no sense in bringing an extra ironing surface when it's not needed. So I don't know if I've got anything I can lay this on and pick it up. I wonder if it'll work on the towel. Let me see. I have one of the hotel towels, the hand towels. So I'm going to lay this block out and show you guys what I'm going to do with the smallest ones. And I am going to make a full quilt out of this. So what you're going to see is just a start to that quilt. These were going to end up being, by my math earlier, these were going to end up being like 3 inches finished. With taking the eighth of an inch off of each of these, not currently for my brain, yes, they are tiny. They are very tiny. But there's, I mean, I don't even know exactly how many there are, so I will have to count them. But if I did my math right, and this is if, then I have, let me grab my notebook, because I was actually doing this at the ballpark last night, you guys. I sat through 3 games. Hubby had 2 games, and then he had a game break between the 2 games. So yeah, I bring a like steno book. I also have my graph paper notebook somewhere as well. So if I got this right, so each of these blocks requires 12 of these half square triangles, and I can make 92. And then the next size up, I think I can make 72 of those. And then the large ones, I think I'll have 68, but I might have more, I might have less. And then I'll have to cut 308 squares to go with it. And that's just based off of trying to make a throw size. But I have scraps too. So this is by no means exhaustive of everything that I have available to work with. Like this is not at all exhaustive. All right, we're gonna put the towel on my ruler so I can pick it up, and it looks like it might stay. We're gonna see. Okay. So this is the block unit that I'm going to end up making. And so I will have to cut 4 squares, and I should have enough of the white to do that. If not, we will figure something out. But so that's going to be my small block. And then the next block up, let me set these back down. They're so tiny, you guys. They're so tiny. They're so cute because they're so tiny, but they're so tiny. Thank you, Chloe. Yeah. And thank you, Giovanna. Yeah, it is cute, isn't it? I mean, I sat there, Pam says, lovely. I sat there in the car on the way here, drawing out different block ideas, and like a couple of them just did not come there. Glenda says she loves it. Yep. I'm excited. I'm very excited. All right, so let me grab the next size up squares. And so, you know, you guys saw the path for that. And I have no idea. Oh, yeah, I do. I know how that came in there. I was like, wait a minute. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. All right, so the next block up, I'm going to do the same kind of thing. So we're going to have to cut some background. So if I have to get more background, I know what I used. So that's going to be my next size up square. And I'm going to cut this down. Like this is going to be trimmed down so it fits the finished size of the small ones. So the small ones have to be done first. And then the big ones are just going to be their own half square triangles. So, you know, I'm just going to see what I can come up with, how many I get, and then I'll play with layouts once I can get it on my design wall. It's going to be a while though. I mean, I cut 36 last night. And I got so many more to go, you guys. Like so many more to go. And I am cutting them in groups of 12, or trying to. But when you've got this many and you can have like 92 blocks worth, you're gonna kind of be stuck for a little bit. So I did go, in case you guys are wondering, I did do shop hop on the way out here. I did not get a whole lot of extra because we're short on time. We needed to be here by a certain time yesterday. So, but I will have to pull shop hop out tomorrow night, or I will have to pull it out Tuesday, one or the other. I will be back home by Tuesday. So the shop hop, stopped at 2 different quilt shops. At one shop, I really just was trying to hurry because my husband had not eaten yesterday morning, and you know, I want him to eat before he goes to games and is out in the heat. You know, it's not a good idea to eat right before you get out in the heat. And he is one of those people that if he is stressed, he does not want to eat. And I mean, I'm kind of that way, but I still have to eat. Like my body tells me I have to eat, and I have to listen. And I may only be able to eat like 3 bites if I'm stressed, but I still eat at least that. And I can't get him to eat even that sometimes. So I have to make sure that he eats. So when we were traveling yesterday and he was stressed, I was like, well, okay, so let me make my trip here really, really short, and, you know, we'll go to the next stop. So one of the shops, the first shop I stopped at yesterday, their block, their 12.5 inch, or 12-inch finished block, looks like their quilt shop. You guys, it's adorable. They included an embroidered little piece so that you have their shop name on their shop. So it's already pre-embroidered. All you have to do is like stitch it in place, or trim it and stitch it in place. So that'll be one. The other shop that I stopped at, the block is a suitcase. Looks like a rolling suitcase. And they look at me and I said, well, you know, I'm here to shop hop and I want to get the kit. And she said, well, our kit is the suitcase. I was like, okay. And then she said, so you get to choose what color. I was like, I get to choose the color? I get to choose the color? Yay. And of course they had purple. So it's purple. So they actively are cutting your kit while you're in the store. So they don't have the background cut, I don't think. Or they might have had some background cut, but they have the handles and the wheels already pre-cut. Because the handle extension pieces and it's Kennedy. Good morning. She says, howdy, Alabama, and everyone. Yes. Yes, Giovanna. Absolutely. The purple. Gotta have the purple. And you guys, it's so unfair. So I was at this shop and they were cutting my kit for me so that I would have my little suitcase kit to put in my shop hop blocks. And so I'm having to wait for them to cut things. And they have stickers at the counter. I think I came home with 4 or 5 stickers. I don't know. I lost count. But I came home with some stickers. One of them, oh gosh. One of them says, I'll be in my office, and it's got a sewing machine and all the like fabrics and notions and things like that, hanging out with it as well. And it's so stinking adorable, you guys. I want to be able to give stuff away, but then I want these so bad. So I don't know what I'm going to do with my stickers yet, but I did come home with stickers. The shop was just so cute, so cute. And both of the shops, and these are shops in Gillette, Wyoming, both of them, I think, but it looks like both of them allow you to rent the long arm so that you can quilt while you're up there. I know one of them does. The first one that I stopped at does. The one with the embroidered piece for their quilt shop. But I don't know. I think the other one does too. I think they even advertise that they do. But you guys, I don't get to come to Gillette all that often. So, I need to get used to it. I need to get used to it. But they do have like the full frame and all of that. So I might be back to come rent a long arm for a quilt that is going to be hard to quilt on my sit down long arm. So I don't know yet. So do you guys take projects with you when you travel? Giovanna says, is sales trick for you to wait so you look at more stuff and buy more? Exactly. Charlotte, good morning. She says, morning, Tammy, and everyone. Yeah, when I was in sales, when I was working retail, you better believe that I had the little things to pick up while you were at the register. My biggest seller, I cannot even joke about this. My biggest seller were embroidery scissors. Like, I could not keep them in stock. I always had a new kind of embroidery scissor to sit on my counter so that people would pick it up and then want it. You guys, people would come into my shop after a while and they would come to the counter to see what the new embroidery scissors were, to see if they were something that they had to take home with them. I was very famous for having the cutest embroidery scissors around town. And we did, people were learning how to do machine embroidery from us. So of course I always kept, the really good machine embroidery scissors. And there were a few customers that I had that were like, well, I got these already, I'm fine, I don't need anything else. And every time I turned around, like I had something new, and she would still look, even if she wasn't going to buy. She'd buy other things because she wanted to buy the embroidery scissors, but she couldn't convince herself to, so she bought other things. So but they got me. They got me with the stickers. And if they had just had like 3 stickers, like the top 3 that I could see initially, it would have been fine. I probably wouldn't have bought as many. But me, you know me, I dug through the stickers. And they had them all in groups, so like I get to one and like, oh, this is a new one. This is a new one. Sorry about my hair sticking out, you guys. It did not want to go up when I put it up earlier. So yeah, I got hair hanging down out of my bun. So what do you guys take with you when you travel? Do you guys take handwork? Would you guys take a cutting project like this? Like, what would you take? Charlotte says my best upsell was best press. I'd iron my shirt with it and let my fabric customers see how well it worked and lasted. There you go. That's one way to do it. Yeah, I sold best press too. Giovanna and I look around, or I look around, but my closet is always in my mind, so I don't buy a lot ever. Giovanna says, don't worry about it, you're okay as is. Yeah. Absolutely, you guys. I'm a sucker for stickers. I wasn't until I actually started putting them on my big machine. So Beauty has quite a few stickers. She has a few tattoo upgrades. Charlotte says, I used to bring knitting with me. Okay, that works. I used to bring cross stitch. When I was riding on the truck with my husband, I had cross stitch. That's what I would do. I didn't do like any super intricate with beads or anything like that while I was riding. I was cross stitching while we were going down the road. Oklahoma roads are not where I want to be when I cross stitch. I could not. Like, we would cross into the Oklahoma, and of course I knew we were going through Oklahoma or going to Oklahoma or whatever, but we would cross that state line, and within the first, maybe 200 feet, I was already packing up my cross stitch because I was like, we're in Oklahoma now, aren't we? And he'd look at me and go, yeah, why? It's like, I can tell. Even without looking at road signs, I can tell. The roads are just so rough there, and I would get car sick. I tend to be a car sick person, so the fact that I can draw on the road, I can't draw all the time. So don't give me grief. It's not every time that I can draw, but I can draw. When I go to my cousin, she has a sewing machine, makes me her slave to sew for her, but I enjoy it always. There you go, Giovanna. Absolutely. I don't have anybody that I go to visit that wants me to sew for them, so I get out of that. I don't have to do that. Sounds like writing in Louisiana. Nope. I can cross stitch in Louisiana. I haven't been north of New York State in a semi-truck trying to cross stitch, so I don't know north of that. But I have been through like New York and cross stitched. I'm not great at pressing, so when I used to travel for work, I'd take blocks that needed to be pressed. There you go. That's not a bad idea. Now, so I'm here tomorrow, but the next time that I'm going to travel is going to be for Colt, Wyoming in July. That's the next time I know I'm going to travel. Let's put it that way. At least for right now. So when you guys see me then, I will have my machine. And I am also going to bring my tripod to set my camera on, or set my phone on, so you guys will be able to see me. Oh yeah, it's a lot worse than Louisiana, Charlotte. Absolutely. Oh, so you guys will get a kick out of this. Okay. So, I used to live in Alabama. And, I grew up in Alabama. So, I'm familiar with all the accents in Alabama, or the majority of the state. And I lived in Mississippi for a while, and I visited Louisiana regularly. So you guys, there's a content creator out of Louisiana that I follow, and I knew from 5 minutes of listening to her, I knew that she was in Louisiana. I didn't know which part of Louisiana, but I knew she was in Louisiana. I knew that's where her accent was from. And sure enough, that's where she is. So my friend sent me this video yesterday. She's like, I think this is Mississippi. And I start listening, and I'm just thinking, no, that's not Mississippi. That's not. And I'm listening to the accent, and I'm doing this before I even look the lady up to try to figure anything else out. and she's from North Alabama. But I had it pinned. I was like either South Tennessee all the way to Birmingham. She's somewhere in that area, and I was right. And it's amazing how much I can tell those accents. Now, I know Giovanna said a comment. Let's see if I can see it. Here we go. I do all her alterations and fix her grandkids' clothes. I also make her a hexagon tablecloth, as her table is a hexagon. Oh, that's perfect. That's using inspiration from real life for your art. I love that. I love that. I do know what the big giveaway is going to tell. I've already got it earmarked. I'm currently cuddling with it, not here in the hotel, but I'm currently cuddling with it. So that's the only hint you guys are going to get about what the giveaway will be for the Show and Tell giveaway in October. You guys are going to get a birthday present from me on my birthday or thereabouts. I mean, it's well, I don't remember what I think it's October 1st is the first Tuesday in October. So I'll have October 1st, and then my birthday is on the following Monday. So I might have to do a birthday live too. But we will see, we'll see, we'll see. Let's see, what else can I think of? Now, I have actually cross-stitched at a baseball game before. Have you guys ever done, have you ever taken your crafts to sporting events? Get skinny. I love the Southerners. Chloe says, are you Super Mug Thursday? I have to take a picture of that. Yes, please. Absolutely. I would love that. I would love that. I'm so glad. I did get that notification that it arrived. I need to check on my niece's quilt. I sent that out on Wednesday, and I haven't checked on the status of it, but I left my ticket things at home, so I can't check it until Monday anyway. I don't go to sports events. Charlotte says, oh yes. Yeah, I have an umpire husband. I have a baseball umpire for a husband, so I go to sporting events. If it wasn't for him, would I probably go? I don't know. Somebody would have to be enthusiastic and invite me, I think. I do enjoy baseball, so don't get me wrong, I do enjoy it. So, so here's a funny for you guys. So as an umpire's wife, and this happened in the Southeast, so we're not talking about up here, when we would go, and I never understood it, when we go to tournaments or anything like that, my husband used to crochet at t-ball and basketball games for my kids. Yeah, there you go. So we would go to a tournament or we'd go to a game or whatever, and I didn't understand. I understood what he said, but it didn't make sense to me at first that he wasn't going to acknowledge me once we got through the gate. So like the gate agents might know who I am just to get me in for free. But nobody else was going to know who I was, and they weren't going to know that I was related to an umpire. And he's like, if somebody asks, you can tell them, but don't offer it. Like, don't tell them in advance that you're an umpire's wife. And I was like, okay, well, that makes sense because you guys get yelled at for everything under the sun. So, they might, start yelling at me. So I've gotten very good at it. When we go to a tournament or whatever, or we go, even to the local baseball team, I don't offer it to everybody that I am an umpire's wife. But we would go. So let's see. I used to swim in races. It's quite good too. I was also good at grass hockey. I'm not good at sports. I've tried. I was a cheerleader, but I couldn't do tumbling, and I was okay at volleyball. Wasn't great. That was the only sport I was decent at, though, was volleyball. But so I go to tournaments, and I wouldn't tell all these parents that are sitting there who I am, and they would look at me And they couldn't figure out which team I was rooting for. And especially in a multi-day tournament, they're just assuming that maybe I'm there for the next game. Or maybe I'm there. Oh, goodness, Giovanna. Yeah, I'm not anymore either. There's no chance. But so, like, I guess the parents just assume that I'm there on behalf of the field, or I'm there, for the next game that's coming up, or I'm, an aunt, or, something like that related to one of these kids on the field. They never think that there's an umpire's wife sitting in the stands. And so at one tournament that I was at, they were yelling at my husband. They were yelling because they didn't agree with his call. His call was right, but they still didn't agree with it. You know how that happens, right? The umpire's blind, and let's play three blind mice. All of the baseball theme jokes about umpires being blind and can't see anything. But they were yelling at my husband, mad or whatever. And there you go, Giovanna. Love it. Tournament for chatting. So I was sitting there and they're yelling at my husband. And then one of the other parents or one of the other people that's sitting there, she realizes that I'm not yelling at the umpire and I'm not yelling for their team. Of course, I'm sitting on their side. And I'm not yelling for the other team. I'm just sitting there quietly observing. And she's like, "Do you have a boy out here on the field?" I said, "Yeah." She's like, "Where is he?" I said, "He's the one behind the plate that y'all are yelling at." And her eyes just got so wide. They didn't yell at my husband anymore. They didn't yell at him at all. I think they were nervous because here's an umpire's wife sitting in the stand listening to them yelling and trying to heckle my husband. And they were fine until they realized who I was. But they don't bother me. They don't bother me. And so yesterday I was sitting there and this one guy was walking by who was mad. He was so mad. And he at one of the players on one of the teams. And I'm just trying to lighten the mood because when y'all are talking about who's going to out chat who, I love it. So when this guy was walking by, I was thinking, he's mad. He's fussing at this kid on this team. I've seen this before. I've seen this a time or two. So I just said, I was like, I saw that aggravated look and, that exchange I've seen that before. Just kind of like, you can talk to me. He comes back and he's like mad because his kid isn't being put in the game. And Nomedy brings out bad behaviors in crowds. Exactly. When they don't realize, like when they think that the umpire can't see them or hear them, people will say things that they shouldn't say. But especially when they realize that the umpire has his own fan base. Nobody ever expects the umpire to have a fan base. It's not for anything that they used to call me Radio Kenya. I love it, Gia. But yeah, so the guy walks by and I was like, I've seen that aggravation before. And he's not talking to me. He just kind of acknowledged me a little bit. Denise, yes, found me. Yes. Thank you. I know it's confusing. We'll probably have the same problem tomorrow night. So when I start a live tomorrow night, just keep an eye on the channel because that'll be where I actually start the live. Since I can't seem to get YouTube to let me change that it's not connecting through a streaming service, I'm going to play with it some tomorrow or later today and see if I can figure out how to get YouTube to cooperate with me. We're gonna try it one more time. We're gonna see, because I want to be able to do that in Cheyenne for Quilt Wyoming too. Well, they have to realize that the umpire has to be impartial. Okay, so the umpire is supposed to be impartial. In reality, So my husband is one of the few that I know of that is completely impartial. It doesn't matter to him who wins or loses. It just matters to him that he gets the calls right. That's what it matters to him. But there are a lot of, and I've seen it in person. There was an umpire in a local town that we went to last year, and the only games he called were in that local town. So he didn't travel to any of the other towns. He didn't travel to any of the other states to call. He was just at that one location. And so he was calling literally every game he could. And he was intentionally ruling, like you could tell, he intentionally was ruling for the home team in times that he shouldn't have. Yeah, they should be. They should be impartial, but there's a lot that aren't. It happens. It's going to happen. But so the guy said yesterday, the guy was like mad because his kid wasn't put into play. He's like, my kid's been drilling for 6 weeks. He's been, out on the field every time they're there. He's been practicing with them. He's been doing all of this, all of that, and he's not playing. And then my husband reminded me last night, after we got back to the hotel, he's like, yeah, well, the coaches don't tend to play the best players in the first games because you wear your good players out in the first games that really don't count that much, then you don't have your good players when you need them in the later games. So I don't think the parent was thinking about that or knows that concept. But I have seen that too. I've seen a lot of that. And there's a lot of parents, I mean, travel ball, which is what we're here for right now. Travel ball is big business. Travel ball is, parents pay for uniforms, they pay for their kids to travel, they pay for all of these expenses, they pay for hotel rooms when their kids travel to these other locations, like they go with their kids. Like travel ball, they pay. And a baseball bat is not an inexpensive item. I mean, just there's no way. It's very expensive. They should rotate the players. They do, but it's not quite the way that you're used to. So baseball, you have your initial starting lineup of 9 players. You can have a courtesy runner, and you can have a designated hitter. So your batting lineup is possibly different than your outfield lineup. So your pitcher usually never bats. So, yeah, exactly. Charlotte, parents rarely think strategically, and coaches do. Yeah, they do. Okay, let me caution that. Coaches usually think, good coaches think strategically. Not all coaches. Now in recreation ball, it is more about getting the kids playing time. It's not supposed to be about winning and losing. It is supposed to be about getting the kids time to play and getting the kids involved. Travel ball is not rec ball. Travel ball is business. And travel ball is, we're trying to get our kids in front of these recruiters. We're trying to get them to that point where they're in front of somebody who's going to see them and notice them and pick them up. But what a lot of these parents don't realize is that even if your kid plays high school ball, which we don't have high school ball in Wyoming, but we're in South Dakota right now, and there's teams from other states here as well. So I missed a comment. Let's see. Here we go. Poor parents. Yeah, I mean, so travel ball parents, they know that they're going to pay. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. When you're talking a $400 bat, and some of these kids have more than one, the parents have money, and it's usually, the parents that have money are the ones that are putting their kids in travel ball. If you don't have money, you're not playing travel ball. It is what it is. That's just the format of travel ball here, especially in the States. Yeah, Giovanna, it's like I said, it's business. Travel ball is business. Um, so the parents put them in the air turned back on, you guys. So it keeps my neck a little bit warmer when I pull my hair back down. I will do something with it before I leave again because this is a mess. But yeah, travel ball is business. But this tournament, I mean, there's so much. There's just so much. And then every time we leave, so when we went to Salt Lake City, and then now that we're here, so Tom, my husband is, that's 3/4 of what I could, yeah, exactly, right? I know. It's insane. There's no way I could afford to put a kid in travel ball. I never could have, and I wouldn't, just because there's no way. Unless my kid was really that good and we did fundraisers. We would have to do fundraisers. Um, but he is an umpire coordinator, and so he's scheduling all the umpires for recreation ball back home. And so every time we leave town, without fail, something goes haywire. So stuff went haywire back at home. So as soon as we get up Monday morning, we are going to be leaving so we can be back in time for him to handle things Monday night. Thankfully, with tomorrow being a holiday, they're not having to handle anything tomorrow. Uh, they get to kind of have Father's Day off. So he's going to call some baseball here still tomorrow. And then, everything should be done by like noon. So we can get going, like get relaxing, and then get up early in the morning. Not to change the subject, Tammy, have you lost weight? I have lost maybe about 5 pounds, but I have lost a little bit. It's not a lot. So I've had a lot of stress going on, both with my hearing and just some other stuff going on in my life. And so I've lost a little bit. It's not significant. None of my clothes fit differently yet, but I have lost a little bit. I am on another medication that it does make me a little nauseated. So I'm not snacking as much as I was. Jiva says it shows on your face. I know, right? Like right here. Yeah. Yeah, it also is possibly the angle some too, because you guys don't normally see me from this angle. You guys normally are seeing me from like up here and looking more down at me. So you guys are seeing me from a little bit different angle too, so that'll help. That'll make some changes too. Me losing weight right now is not a bad thing. I do have quite a few that I could stand to lose, so I'm not disappointed by having lost some. So when we had the conversation about jeans, probably a month ago, maybe something like that. Oh, Laura, you're fine. You're fine. Welcome back. So we had a conversation about jeans probably about a month ago, and I've got like 4 pairs of jeans in every size, like to my smallest size to my current size. So if I do lose some weight, I can pull out my old jeans, and I don't have to like my shirts will still fit. I just have, some more shirts that would open back up as an option if I do lose some more weight. So that's a good thing. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Laura, I love it. How dare my sister call while you were on live. Laura, your sister is not on recording. I'm recording so that you can come back and replay. Okay, so take time for your sister. I do not mind. I do not have hurt feelings, okay? Your sister's live, she's not recorded, so that's perfectly fine. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to leave here shortly. Don't we all have a few we could stand to lose nausea from? That's a hard way to lose it. Thankfully, it's not so bad. So I had stomach surgery back in 2016. And I did that to help me lose a lot of weight, and it helped. And it kind of reshaped my face and, slimmed me down a little bit. but I have regained. There you go, Giovanna, I like it. I have elastic trousers so it can grow and shrink as I do. There you go. Um, so I can't eat a whole lot. So like a Dr. Pepper does take me a really long time to drink. Believe it or not, from what you guys see, I promise it takes me a while to finish one. But I really don't eat big portions. So with all the stress I went through and everything else I was going through in the last couple weeks, I went from like in the morning I could eat 2 eggs to now I can eat 1 egg, and I am completely stuffed. So just my stomach basically shrank back down. So that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I feel full. I don't, I'm not going hungry or anything like that. I just have to eat more frequently if I want to maintain my current weight. And if I don't, I'm going to lose. It's the way that it works. That's the only advantage of having that stomach surgery is that, I'm not stuck where it's so much harder. Laura says I have a range of sizes that is ridiculous for just in case. Stress is not a good way to lose weight. No, it's not. But I'm not losing hair. It's not nutritional value. It's just the quantity of food. And Pam, yours is stress eating. Yeah, mine is too. I used to eat, and I will tell you guys this because I do have an eating disorder. So I will be honest with that. It's not something I talk about very frequently because I never want somebody to feel bad for having one or not having one. So, like, I never want anybody to feel singled out because my experience is definitely my experience and not necessarily anyone else's. So I do have an eating disorder, and I could easily, before I had stomach surgery, I could easily grab a bag of chips, family size bag of chips, and I could go through that in a matter of 2 days. I would just, I would sit in front of the TV, I would binge watch, and I would just snack. And I would occasionally make myself sick from eating what I was eating or eating as much as I was eating. And so I would do that. I wasn't, I wasn't eating everything. I wasn't like ordering. I will say this, I couldn't go to a fast food restaurant, order a meal, finish everything on that meal, and then still want more. So like I did have limits, like I wasn't eating like that, but I could definitely go, like if I ordered, let's just use McDonald's for an example. If I had ordered a Big Mac and a large fry and a large drink, I could finish all of that. And not saying that there's anything wrong with being able to finish all of that because I know people who can, who are still slender. But for me, I was eating to work through the emotional. Hi, Deb. She says, hi, Tammy in chat. Deb S. and the Pug Mama Quilter. Welcome in. Welcome in. We're having a little bit of a real discussion for just a second. But yeah, so I could eat an entire Big Mac meal, large size, with fries and everything else. And I wouldn't be hungry immediately afterwards. But let's say I ate that in my car and I went home and they had a dessert or they had something else that looked super tasty, I could still eat. Melissa, welcome in. Glad you made it. It is genetic, Giovanna. It absolutely is genetic. But I could eat like a lot of food and a lot more than I needed, especially for my activity level. I could not maintain an activity level that would balance out what I could eat. And having the surgery didn't fix the mentality, and I knew it wasn't going to. I did have counseling on that, so I didn't go into it blind. Like I didn't think that it was going to fix everything. It's just giving me a tool to help me fix it. So I know now some of my triggers. So I don't watch TV all the time. I will occasionally sit down and I like to get episodes on Netflix and I will watch one episode and that's it. Like I will watch one episode on Netflix and of whatever I'm watching. I mean, it could be a 45-minute long show, it could be an hour and 15 minute, it could be whatever it is. But once that episode is done, I'm done. Like I get up, I move, I go do something else. I don't sit in front of the TV all day and eat like I used to. I made the lifestyle changes that were triggering for me. And that was my key to treating myself better. Giovanna says I can eat only a hard-boiled egg and put on weight. I understand that. Charlotte says, let me grab the chat again. There we go. Charlotte says, I've always been a binge eater and I'm the same way, Tammy. Use whatever tools you need to be healthy, honey. Yes, absolutely. I mean, now if I do binge, I don't grab the entire bag of chips. I put the chips in a bowl and that's what I have. I don't go back for a second bowl. I I don't serve myself on a plate. I serve myself on a saucer because I know if I have a plate full of food that I'm going to either want to eat it all or I'm going to want to nibble until I can eat it all or something else that's unhealthy for me. So I don't do that. I serve myself on a saucer because then I can't put as much food on there, so I'm not tempted to eat more. And once I'm done eating and I get up, and whether that's, hi Charlotte, welcome in, welcome in. So whether I'm eating at the table, whether I'm eating in front of the TV, doesn't matter anymore where I'm eating. Used to matter where I was eating too, because where I was eating played into how I would eat. But now it doesn't matter where I'm eating as long as I portion my sizes, so that I don't screw that up. Giovanna says I don't do snacks and cook a small amount of food. I don't cook. My husband cooks. So he cooks as though he's never had any kind of, gastric surgeries or whatever either. So he cooks big portions. And he can still eat big portions. Not all the time, but he can. And it doesn't hurt me for him to do that. Like, I don't feel bad. And I've been out with friends who, I mean, they've got a 44-ounce steak on the menu or whatever, and they can order that, plus, like, this baked potato and these vegetables and a salad and a soup and bread. Like, they can order that, and they can eat almost every last bit of it. And it doesn't bother me to have someone that I'm with do that. There's just no way that I could do it. Melissa says I'm still in recovery for a lifelong eating disorder. Yeah, absolutely. And I don't have a problem with people knowing that I have an eating disorder. It's not why I've lost weight right now. Why I've lost weight right now is from stress. And so, like, I can go hours without eating and not feel hungry. But I do have to snack, or I do have to have things available that I will eat. If there's something available but I won't eat it, then I'm not even tempted to try it. Like, you can't convince me to try to eat something if I'm not hungry. Giovanna says I put on with stress. I used to, but now I lose when I'm stressed because I forget to eat. And then if I don't have anything easy to fix, and that's one thing my husband's really good about, is he makes sure that there's always something easy for me to get. Like, my newest thing is like these biscuit things from, I think it's Nabisco. It's not the Belvita breakfast things, but it's kind of like the similar thing. It's crunchy and it's got almond butter, and they're okay. They're not fantastic. But they're edible and they don't make me sick. And even if I don't finish one, it's still not bad. And, so we keep stuff like that on hand so that I have something if I do get hungry. If I get hungry, I have to eat. So, but if I'm not, if you can't even get me hungry, then, I'm not going to eat. So it's kind of flipped from what it was before. So while I'm thinking about it, okay, so here's what I'm going to do today, you guys. All right. So the ball field is 30 minutes away from Charlotte. For me, it's boredom. It used to be for me. That was that's one of my triggers is boredom. Um, yeah, I understand, Giovanni. Yeah, not eating can cause ulcers. Eating too much can cause problems. I mean, I think you probably have it better there in Italy than we do here in the US. Here in the US, everything is supersized. Everything is bigger, better, greater. And our portion control is so out there. So out there. Okay. So these colors that I have been using, these are from Nifty Notions. And so, I mean, I bought these back in 2012, 2013. If you can see here, you guys, they're copyright 2003. They are made in the US, but they're no longer available. So if I buy one now, they are going to be like something somebody had hanging around. They're not going to be or they might be brand new, might not be used. But I am needing to start replacing my rulers. I have a ton of these. I have like 13, 14, 15 rulers. I don't use all of them all the time, but I do have them for different sizes. Like it came in a box kit, all of that. But if you guys can see up here, my markings at the edge are fading. Like I have used these rulers. I mean, there's not even any markings up here at this corner. And let's see, I'm looking. No, none of the edges on this ruler. This is my most used size. This is a 7-inch ruler. So I like these rulers because, I mean, yeah, let's see. Let me flip it back over. Okay. So up here at the 1, so there's supposed to be, I guess they didn't put the pink line here for the 1/4 inch because I don't think you would be wanting to cut that. But so you have the 1/2 inch line that marks, then you have the 3/4 inch line, and then all the others have that 1/4 inch line marking. So you've got 2 different colors. You've got your 1/2 inch, which is going to be your green, and then you have your 1/4 inch, which is going to be your pink color. I know my camera's refocusing, so I'm sorry, you guys. So like against my hand, you can't see those 1/4 inch lines. So these are the rulers that I've had. I really like this circle in the middle where these lines join. I love that. That is the one holdout that I have in trying to find a new ruler. Is I have these that have these holes in the middle. I mean, it's solid ruler. There's not an actual hole, but you see the hole in the line. So when I go to line up fabric, let me get one you guys can see for sure. Oh, there's a small one mixed in with all the big ones. Let me grab this one. So when you are lining up, if you go to line up for the corner, you can see exactly where the fabric is falling in that corner. And I love that about these rulers. That is what I love. So like you go to line up along this diagonal and look here. You can go like that might look like it's okay, but if you look in the centers of the circles, you can see that it's not. And you can be extra precise in lining your pieces up. So if you look in those holes along that center, that drawn line, that diagonal, you can actually see exactly where your fabric is. So I want that part of these rulers. I would love the rest of it, but that's what I want the most. And I have not found any other rulers that are like this. Try Creative Goods. They're close to what you're, let's see. I hate that this keeps going away on me. They're close to what you have markings wise, not in color. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing too, as I do like these colors because I have not, I will take that back. I have only one time had fabric that I cannot see the markings on. And amazingly enough, it was a pink fabric. So these were set, this is a 7-inch and this one is a 4-inch by 14. See, there's my 13-inch line. So 14 is at the bottom. So these are kind of odd sizes. They're not the standard 12-inch and 6-inch and all of that. You have the built-in extra. Now, these rulers had no kind of grippy on them, so they were all the flat, slick stuff. However, I have put the ruler grippy stuff on the back of these. You can probably see it in the reflection. It goes almost all the way to the edge, like a 1/4 inch from the edge, or maybe an 1/8 of an inch. Yeah, 1/8 of an inch from the edge. So I put that on the back of these, and if you guys can see these edge line markings, how clear these are. So like this is a ruler I use a lot too, but for some reason the edge markings on this one are staying intact better. A lot better than the edge markings on this one. I mean, these are just going away. 103 to 114. Oh, that's awesome. If that's what you need, that's exactly where you need to be. Now my brother-in-law, when he was fighting cancer, we were doing a happy dance every time he gained weight because we couldn't get him to gain weight. So yeah, if you need to gain weight, gain weight. If you need to lose weight, then lose weight. Absolutely. These you can probably get them on Amazon, Giovanna. You should be able to get them in Italy. I don't see why you wouldn't. It's called Invisigrip. It comes on a roll, but it's INVISI Yeah, Invisigrip. And it comes on a roll, so you just cut it to the size that you need. And I mean, if I started peeling it off, it would come off. Nancy is here. Welcome in, Nancy. Glad you are here. Okay, so I say all this about my rulers because I'm going to take these with me. The ball field is 30 minutes from a big quilt shop, and I'm going to go to the quilt shop. They are open today, and they supposedly have 6,000 bolts of fabric. They have it's supposed to be a massive store. I've heard really good reviews from some of my local friends on that quilt shop. So if I ever got the chance to go, I needed to go. So that's where I'm going to go today. I'm going to take my rulers with me, and I think I'm going to take my Martelli cutter with me and a few of my pieces so that I can actually, if they will let me, I can go ahead and use their rulers while they're there or while I'm there and see how I like them with cutting. I mean, these are tiny pieces, so see how I like them for cutting my tiny pieces, and that way I can get maybe 1 or 2 rulers today and then start expanding my collection and swap out rulers. And I normally would not recommend swapping rulers mid-project. So that's not something I would say would be a normal thing to do because, even though I love my Nifty Notions rulers, when you start swapping rulers between projects, as long as you're staying in the same brand, you should be good. But you don't want to swap between using your rotary cutting mat as a ruler, then swapping to a different brand of ruler, here and there as you go through a project, because you will tend to have a little bit of accuracy loss when you do that. So I'm going to take my rulers, my 2 rulers. I'm going to take my cutter, and I'm going to take some of these small pieces, and I'm going to go to the quilt shop. I'm going to have to go get gas and put the link for the grip thing on Facebook. Yes, I definitely can, Giovanna. That will not be a problem. I do not mind. And I don't know, I mean, I would think your local quilt shops might have them, but maybe they don't. Now, there is a spray. I will caution this. There is a spray that you can use on the back of your rulers that's supposed to do the same thing. I find that it gives the ruler a frosted look. So, whereas this is pretty clear. I mean, you can even see the picture on the wall and tell what it is through the ruler. When you do that spray stuff, it does give it a little bit of a frosted color, frosted tint to it. And I find texturally, I cannot handle the texture of the back of the ruler. No quilt shops there. Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. So, I guess you guys will get to see tomorrow night whether I got new rulers, or whether, you know, whether that was a bust. But we will see what I come home with, or what I come back to the hotel with. And we will go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and get off of here, you guys. I just finishing putting grip dots on my rulers because it didn't have no grip to it. Cute cut by Lori Holt. Yeah, so Denise says, bye everyone. True Grips brand and helpful slippery rulers. Yeah. Now the circle ones, I like those for my long arm rulers. Don't like them for these. I want these to have as much contact with the fabric as possible. My long arm, I don't need it to have full contact with the quilt as I'm moving it. I think they just give a little too much lift off of the fabric for me to feel comfortable cutting with it. Like I can long arm with it all day, but I don't think I want to do that on these. So all right, so I am going to get off of here. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. We will go live tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, as always. And then I will see you also on Tuesday. We are going to be live at home, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It is another giveaway Tuesday. Oh, you're fine, Chloe. I was driving while Donnell was live, so you're good. But I will show you guys Tuesday for sure. All of the kits that I came home with, as well as whatever I pick up. So even if you guys missed tomorrow night, you guys will see it Tuesday. So I will see you guys then. Thank you for hanging out. Bye.